Oh, my legs are full of lactic. There is no way that is not quicker than any other time I've done. No way. It's Easter weekend and we're going to do something that I think is arguably better than an FTP test. Welcome back to the What Life. Let's go. Just to explain myself very quickly from the start, whenever I talk about FTP tests, people will dive in the comments and say that it's not the be all and end all, it's not everything, you don't nearly need to do it that often. And I do agree with that, because when I first started, I wasn't obsessed with FTP tests, but I was trying to improve as a cyclist. But I haven't done an FTP test for about 4 or 5 months now, but I know that I am getting better. So this is my point. I'm going to go and do my local quarry wood climb, which is a 3-minute climb. I'm hopefully going to do a lot quicker than that. When I say a lot, 15 seconds quicker than that. But the point is that I'm more likely to do an effort on a local segment than I am to go and set up or try and get a FTP test done at my own home on my turbo, because it's more user friendly, and that's the important thing. Ultimately, what I'm saying is that if you have a segment that's local to you that you are happy to put an effort in on, it's going to be more beneficial if you use that as your barometer, because a lot of people talk about FTPs in terms of just using it as a measure of whether you are improving. Yeah, it's just down there on the left. Yeah. The whole point is that if you can use a segment as a barometer for whether or not you are improving, you're going to get more out of that, because you are more likely to do that frequently and fit it into your training. So we're going to go and do a quarry wood climb. Let's see how it goes. So obviously, if you are elite or sub-elite in terms of an athlete, then yeah, probably stick to doing your FTP tests, work them into your training schedule. But for me, who's not elite, not sub-elite, just a casual guy who loves to ride his bike and hopefully is getting better at it, I think the fact that I'm more likely, especially over the summer, to do this segment regularly and be able to fit that into my training, this is way more beneficial. Even though it's shorter, doesn't have a bearing on my kind of long time trial efforts or longer ride efforts, it's a really good measure of whether I'm improving and getting better. Also, last thing I'll say, this is the first time I would have done this ride or the climb on the wind space, which has a power meter. So I'll get power data this time. And this is spring, Easter weekend. Clocks go into daylight savings. So it's good to have this at the start, effectively, of what should feel like summer. Let's get it! So we're at the bottom of the climb. I've given myself a nice long run up, which is the same as normal. Last time I did this was end of last year, like November, I think, where I did it on my other bike with 45mm wheels. This time we're on the 67s Win Lund Hypers, and we're obviously riding the wind space, 7.9 kg bike with a power meter, so we get load more stats. So don't shout at me, guys, I will talk you through this. Let's cue the music and give this a hell of a shot. So let's get stuck into this one. The whole point of this video, guys, is to simply explain that I think having a segment that you are going to do regularly, something that you're going to be able to compare on a regular basis, is going to be way more useful to you than this concept of having an FTP where Zwift will upgrade you, or your Garmin will upgrade you, or your Wahoo will upgrade you. Based on kind of theoretical numbers. I think just having a segment that you are familiar with and know well will put you in better stead for knowing whether you are improving. So let's get stuck into it. You can see my power bottom left hand corner, speed, heart rate and cadence here. I said to myself, don't go too hard, Max, don't go too hard at the bottom. It's a very short climb, it's 0.67 of a mile, so it's just over a K, like literally yards over a K. It's 241 feet of climbing. Don't go too hard off the start. Obviously, I went too hard off the start and I hit some really good watts. My main difference though, the big thing that I did notice between doing this time and any other time I've done it, was that I was out the saddle for so much more of this. And I was thinking to myself, because obviously I'm recording this after the fact, I say that having the SRAM Force group set made such a difference, but I have ridden this with the Envy, and that had the Shimano Ultegra 8150 group set on it. So, you know, another very capable group set. Although I will say, you know, having the electronic group set that I have on my Windspace over the mechanical 11 speed that I have on my old bike, my Cinelli, did make a ton of difference. The goal was to just hold watts, just keep pushing watts anytime I could. When I was out the saddle, if I needed to recover, I'd try and sink back into the saddle, couple of turns of the legs, and then back out. And you can definitely see that I hold higher wattage doing this. No spoilers, but I do hold 448 watts for however long it takes me to do this, and you'll find out in a minute how long it takes. Other things I want you to know is the first time I did this was like 3 minutes 17, then I got it down to 3:11, then I did 3:02, and then the time after that I did 2:58, and then the time before this, which was in November, I did 2:52. So 2:52 or anything under that was the target. But I had a feeling, knowing how much time I was out the saddle for this climb, I knew I was going to beat it. So the goal is to kind of keep working, keep developing as a cyclist. And although, guys, I agree with you, like this type of test, I actually don't train for like 2-3 minute power. That's not my goal. It really isn't. So to be able to perform like this over a 2 or 3 minute and see that improvement based on the fact that I'm doing longer, harder sessions is really, really kind of rewarding. And it just goes to show that the hard work that you put in translates to, you know, all the semi-different distances, or the different distances that you can kind of work within racing, so, or within cycling. Anyway, the race, the ride, the segment actually finishes right now there at that hallway. Guys, I'm going to dive off now, and you're going to see how we did in a second. Catch you in a bit. That was so hard. The main difference, I was out the saddle for about 85% of that. Oh, my legs are full of lactic. They hurt so bad. There is no way that is not quicker than any other time I've done. No way. Ow, that was stinging nettle. My legs hurt so much. Okay, that SRAM Force group set, so good. Just changing under tension, so good, makes such a difference. Ow, ow, my legs. Yeah. When another cyclist cycles past and asks whether you're okay, you've probably done the climb right. Okay, that's it. Pretty simple reason, guys. Do something that you're more likely to do regularly and see whether you can improve on it. Last year, I was out the saddle for maybe 40-50% of that climb. Now we're 80. We'll get up to a ton more. Hopefully do the whole thing out the saddle. Let's check what the time is. We're gonna do that. I love that I'm so balls that I almost forgot the whole point of this video was to see what time I did. Winter Hill, Quarry Wood climb. Just loading up. Come on, baby, congrats. That was your best power output for 1 minute. Yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Quarry Wood climb, 2:45. That's 7 seconds quicker than last time. Yeah, we are doing it. Guys, we're doing it. I think part of that is also, it's obviously an aero bike, not a lightweight climbing bike. But the fact that it's got the SRAM Force group set on it, the shifting is just so much better than my old mechanical that I've got on my other bike. And that shifting just makes such a difference. Plus you got that 3310 rear cassette, obviously for climbing, which means I can be in my big ring the whole time, and it gives you more scope. So I was big ring the whole way up, which also makes a difference. 2:45, baby. That's it, done, dusted. Sign off, see you next time.